Fellas, Hard to Paint,
Cocktail Players.
How you doing? This is Hard to Paint Real Talk, episode number 14.
Woo!
Today we're going to be discussing, encountering the police and how to help, how to deal with the police and what's the best things we can suggest for your children in dealing with the police as well.
And yourself.
And our own personal experiences. With my hosts,
White Boy Dave.
Crispin, Alapag.
Oh, and my name is Cedric, Bello, people, cocktail player.
So tell me, fellas, some of your experiences with the police, and what do you guys think is the best thing to do when you get pulled over or you have an encounter with the police in the street? What do you guys think is the best way to try to deal with it?
I think number one is respect. My parents taught me respect.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of asshole cops out here, and there's a lot of bad cops. There's a lot of good cops too. But it's all about respect. A lot of time on that encounter, a lot of the police are scared and so forth. So you want to make it comfortable for them so they don't do something. So I do respect. I always keep my hands where they can see my hands, number one. My movements, when I'm reaching for something, I let that officer know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So the first thing I do is I'm pulled over, I'll pull over and I'll keep my hands on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And I'll keep my hands on the steering wheel. And I give them sir sandwiches, so everything's yes sir.
Yeah.
A lot of police want to be entitled. They want to feel some kind of entitlement.
Because it's respect. It is respect.
And they're in a position of power. So I keep my hands on the steering wheel and I tell them what I'm doing. I give them my information, and I prepare myself mentally.
Yeah.
Now, if I feel that he is being disrespectful, what I do is I would remember his name and put a formal complaint in with the department after it's all over.
Yeah.
It's not going to do anything talking shit to him right then and there.
So you wouldn't want to call if you felt that an officer was, being a little bit extra aggressive, or you wouldn't want to request for him to call his watch commander.
That's a great idea. You could have your,
because I think legally he has to call his watch commander if there's a problem, and at least it kind of protects you a little bit. For me, in situations where I've been pulled over, I would do the same thing. I definitely stay very respectful. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I keep my hands on the steering wheel. Now, I don't even try to go into the glove box or even try to reach for my registration until he comes. How you doing, officer? What seems to be the problem this evening? Oh, okay. Well, driver's license and registration. Okay. Well, I have my driver's license here in the middle, and I have the registration. Is it okay if I go get it? Yes, you can go get it. Because I don't want to be reaching, because now he's thinking I might be reaching for something. And it's bad because, really the way that I dress, I've dressed in certain ways before when I was younger. I might have had a bandana on my head. I might have had a white beater on. Oh, when I'm driving, they're looking for me. They think, little vato essay, let's pull this guy over, he's got something on him. And so really, I dress in a certain way so that it deters from them to think, oh, well, he's a gangbanger type guy.
What about driving like 4 deep in a car?
That's not good either.
What do you think about driving 4 deep in a car?
I've always remembered, growing up as a kid, the more people you had in your vehicle, the more likely you was gonna get pulled over.
What about wearing a baseball cap? Like, to me,
I think that's profiling, of course.
Yes.
Because I've seen people get pulled over, black men get pulled over with baseball caps driving a fucking Bentley and a Rolls Royce, and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
Like, to me, at nighttime,
So
a baseball
that's
cap, a lot of time
definitely
it's fashion. A lot of time it is fashion, a baseball cap. But a baseball cap was to keep the sun out of your face.
Yeah.
So what I do at night, for me, is I take my hat off and I put it on the seat. I try not to drive with that baseball cap on.
Yeah.
Because they're more likely to pull someone over with the baseball cap on, because they're profiling, or with a bandana,
Or when you have a lot of people in the car.
Right, or a lot of people in the car, or in your situation when you wear that penis on your head with the chin strap. A lot of times they pull you over because you think you're a unicorn.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. He has the nerve to call me a unicorn and I have a strap of dildo on my head. Look at his fucking nose and you tell me what you think about that one. He has a unicorn in the middle of his face. So the police gonna pull him over off the top just on that alone.
But get back on the topic though.
So yes, encounters with the police officers. But I will, let me add this one though, I think, and I'm gonna see if you guys agree or disagree, is that when these officers go through the academy, I really think they need to do more role playing when it comes to, and I know they do, but you know, to me, repetitive behavior makes for less mistakes.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
So therefore, meaning interacting with actual people that you're gonna have to deal with on the street.
Yeah.
Similar to how the sheriffs go into the jail system and work with these convicts.
What do you think about
Right.
people who work, police officers that work in that area, before they even start working in the area? Because a lot of these police officers from Iowa, straight out of the Army or Marines, they've been killing people.
They're 18
in Iraq
years
or
old.
Afghanistan. What do you think about actually making them volunteer in those areas, plain clothes, so they don't even know they're a police officer, and understanding how to work with Mexicans and blacks in the inner city before they even start working in that
I
area?
agree.
And I think some of the police officers that did grow up in maybe particular areas of LA or other places, I do think that they do get along better with more people from the street because they understand the lingo. They kind of understand people from the street because they were also from the street.
Right.
And so I think the communication is a lot better because it's more familiar to you. If you're coming from Iowa or you're coming straight from the military, the perspective is definitely different.
I can, let me cut you off. I can guarantee you hire me, any branch of law enforcement hire me, I can teach classes to show you how to deal with these people out here in the streets, because there's a way to eliminate what we have going on, you know. And I believe the elimination aspect was, like I said, is not knowing how to interact. I understand that the officers of the law are scared too. I understand they're fearful too. I get that. But then there's also a way to subside situations without it becoming violent or deadly.
Yeah.
What about your rights? What about your rights as a citizen? I know, Fourth Amendment is search and seizure.
Oh, for sure.
A lot of time, if you give consent to search your car, they're allowed to search your car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you say, I do not give you consent, okay, but if you search my car, I'm just letting you know I'm not giving you consent.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. That's one of your rights. Fourth Amendment. You don't have to give consent to search your car.
Yeah.
The same thing. An officer asks you questions. You don't have to answer questions. You can tell them, I do not want to answer questions unless my attorney is present.
Right.
Okay, very important. However, I'm just letting you know I will answer your questions, but I do want an attorney present. You have to give me your name as a person. You have to give me your name. And in California, it's by law that you have to carry an ID. Okay?
Yeah.
So they want to know the encounter. They can come with some bullshit, say you fit a profile or whatever it is, but you have to give me your name. And you provide identification who you are. Now, other than any other question, okay, and the reason for the stop. Any other question, you let them know. My attorney needs to be present. I will answer the questions, but I'm not doing it, so forth. You don't have to answer questions.
Well, I think that's why it's important as citizens. You should know the law because if you know the law, it helps. It helps to prevent certain things from happening because you know your rights as an American citizen. Just like what you're saying, you don't have to answer the questions unless they see something in plain view. They don't have the right to search your car. But sometimes they play off of your ignorance and can I search your car?
Well, they say
Okay,
speculation.
you can search my car, but really you didn't have to allow. Yeah, but if you don't know the law, now you're subject to somebody abusing the situation.
And I think a lot of this comes back to bringing attention to yourself. What I do is, I used to, when I was younger, I played my music very loud. I had a bass in, so Winnebago amplifier, Alpine stereo, and I like that boom.
Yeah.
But if I saw a police officer, I would mute it right away out of respect and turn it down.
Right.
Okay? Because you're not supposed to have amplified music or, so many ohms or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I would always turn it down.
Yeah.
Just like I take off my hat.
Yeah.
Just like I won't drive 4 in a car. Bring in attention to yourself.
Yeah. But it's sad that maybe us three and one other person can't go drive around anywhere and just be out and about without worrying about getting pulled over.
The amazing thing about this particular topic is that this has been happening since the dawn of time. This is nothing new. Of course, technology has allowed us to be able to witness it and see it more, but this has been happening. When we were, as kids growing up here in LA and Compton, this has been happening. This is nothing new. My friends used to get beat up myself, and luckily they don't have the billy club. They wait to tell your ass with the billy clubs, whip the shit out of you, and then drop your ass back off. They wouldn't even take you to jail. This one, it was more of a Devo type of thing.
Yeah.
When you see Devo come around, you gonna hurry up and tuck your tail and get out the way. So it was intimidation.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell law enforcement, you don't have to intimidate to be respected. you lead by example. That's how you become respected, as far as I'm concerned, you know. And like I said, I'm not a fuck the police type of person or a cop killer like Ice-T said or like NW. Back then I was with it 100%. You know, being an elder statesman now, you know, I understand, you know, what it is, but I also realized, I mean, we come to the realization, people, that we have to all, like I said, I've said this before, we have to all be collectively together on this, because if we can subside it by understanding the laws, like you said, respecting the officers that when they stop you, if that happens to you,
not put yourself in bad situations.
And also, I'm gonna give you another example. When someone is pulling you over, let's say for a night, this is another. Do not pull into a dark area. Find a lit area to pull into. That's another thing. I'm glad I just thought about that right now.
You been raped before?
By your mother at 13. No, I think it was 10. But that was not. I never called the police. It was pretty good. First Jewish pussy I had, I accepted it. I took it.
I accepted it.
Yeah, I think I was in the 6th grade, so it was all right. Tore my ass up, my ass up, my virginity.
Tore your ass up?
That's what he does.
You strapped it on, the same strap on? Yeah, that's
what he does.
Wow.
So, good people.
Truth will set you free.
So good people, as we were saying, you know, I want to tell you guys this too. We make light of situations because without laughter, you would have nothing. Laughter is the key to your soul, to enjoyment, to longevity, to keeping you healthy and strong. And sometimes you gotta make light of the situations because sometimes situations are so bad that you need to laugh about it or you'll cry.
Yeah. So, you know, and I want to give a shout out to, in my younger days I mentored a lot of kids, and I like seeing their progress. Some of them are going to get incarcerated, some do well. If you are in a situation where you think you're unlawfully treated or beat up by the police or something in that nature, or a relative has, if you're in the Los Angeles area, look up Jai Person Lin, very good attorney at law. He does a lot of civil stuff. Nice kid, he's young, and he's out there doing it, okay? So it's a shout out. I don't do this often, but when I see good, I give shout outs.
I give a shout out to my boy Jai.
Jai Person Lin, he does a lot of community stuff, and if there's police brutality, let him know, and he will look into it. Good people. That's
very intelligent young man, and good to have him like that on being a lawyer out here in the city and representing for the people. You know, once again, people, you know, this is episode 14, right?
Episode number 14. Again, if you know, we ask that you like or share if you're seeing us on Facebook, or even comment on our videos on what you think would be some other good topics. Or if you see us on YouTube, then, you know, please subscribe to us so that you can, you know, keep up with Hard in the Paint Real Talk on our new episodes that we're doing every single week. We try to bring you real talk on real issues, and, you know, throw a little bit of humor in it as well, and you know, just try to educate you a little bit on a lot of different perspectives.
Yeah, and if you smoke Monte Cristo cigars, this one right here is the one you want to smoke. And if you drink out of a Michelada cup, these are the ones you want to drink right here. Whether you put beer in it, Clamato juice, and make it a Bloody Mary, or you do it like we do it, Jack Daniels and Limerita. It's a smooth taste that you love.
Toast on that one.
1, 2, 3. Hard to Paint cocktail players. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Hard to Paint.
White Boy Dave.
Crispin Alapag.
Cedric Bello.
Peace.
Peace.